Hey YouTube, welcome back to the Gearhead Fellowship channel. Today we're going to be taking a deeper dive into the GTR, showing you everything about the GTR from MotorCrush. It's actually up for sale right now, so if you want to know some details about the car, here it is. Let's go. So here is the MotorCrush GTR. I've partially removed the wrap. They did a 3-layer black, orange, and white wrap on the car with the MotorCrush livery, and all the decals have been removed as well as the orange and white portions of the wrap. The car's gunmetal gray underneath, as you'll see when we walk around. I'll just talk through some of the features that they've done to it. They did a lot of aerodynamic upgrades, so you can see we got APR carbon fiber canards on the front, as well as there's front splitter for the GTR. It's also got APR side skirts on there to cut aerodynamics and decrease drag up underneath the car. It has Ray's Graham Light 57 FXX wheels, 19 by 10s in the front and 19 by 11s in the back. Here you can see the gunmetal gray and the side spear right here. Like I said, all this black that you see actually can be removed. That's just a wrap, so that can come right off. But there you can see the original paint right there, the gunmetal gray, and the whole car is gunmetal gray. Moving into the back, they got the APR GT500 wing on the back, as well as the Difflow Railer Junior 5-element diffuser. Tanabe cat pack exhaust. You can see the tip sticking out the back there, and a nice good image of the gunmetal gray paint on the back. So the wing was actually signed by the MotorCrush team, as well as Andy Lally. You can see Andy's signature right there in the middle of the wing. 4-time Daytona, 24-hour Daytona IMSA champion. He actually has presented the car to me when I won it, and I asked him to sign the wing, and he's also signed the inside part of the car. So we'll go ahead and pop the hood in the trunk, let you see what that looks like. 3.8 liter twin turbo Nissan V6. Twin turbos, the turbos are down here. The only real modification to this car, if you know these 3.8 liters, that way you can look around, you can see a lot of it's stock. It does have handmade titanium intakes. It's going down to the inlet portion of the turbo down there on the side of the block on both sides. That's the only significant performance upgrade for the engine on the engine side, and then the catback exhaust in the back. And up under here we've got the air filters, K&N air filters for that, where the factory GTR air filters were up here. That's all been changed to help increase horsepower and throughput, as well as a Tanabe catback exhaust. And that's been retuned with a Cobb access port V2 that goes with the car. The builder Hawk from J2 was estimating about 550 horsepower up from the 485 stock. Here you get a better view of the trunk. I don't know if you've ever seen the inside of a GTR trunk, but there it is. Everything's there. It's all nice and clean, ready to go. This was a well cared for, even though it's an 09, a lot of people are skeptical of the condition of the vehicle. This is a well cared for one. Aside from MotorCrush, I'm technically the third owner, but the second owner only put like 18 miles on the car. So between the first owner putting 68,000, MotorCrush transporting it and doing the work on it, and then me getting it, that's basically where the mileage has come for the car, and it's up to 78,344, I believe, as of today. I know some people looking at GTRs are interested in the brakes because it's got these big Brembo brakes on them, you know, I'm uncertain of the replacement on these brakes. I don't know if the previous owner had rotors done on it or not, but a common failure for these cars is cracking at the drill points on the rotors, especially if the car was tracked and the rotors are heated. So I want to give you a close-up of these rotors. You can see, even though they're the stock rotors, there's no cracking. So this, I don't believe the car was ever really tracked. I believe it was basically a daily driver for the first owner, who kept it maintained by Hall Nissan in Norfolk, Virginia for most of its life up till 2017, and then it basically has just been in storage between a couple of different entities since then. So here's the left front. I'll show you all 4 rotors. All right, correction, so I was just showing you the right front. Here is the left front, so you can get a good feel. And these things sit, you wash the car, it'll rust those rotors up really good. You get nice lines and marks on it from it just sitting there, but it doesn't really cause anything. You just got to drive it and it'll knock those off. But you can see no, scratches or no, major cracks or anything like that you can tell on these rotors. A little bit smaller rotors in the back. Here is the left rear, so a good feel for that. And now the right rear. You can see that rotor as well. Alright, so just to give you a feel for tire condition, I mean, the cars was street driven. When Andy took it on the track there at Lime Rock, that was about when these tires saw the most action. And I'd say, the car's got 5,000 miles since I got it. The tires may have 7,000 or 8,000 miles total miles on them. I'd say you're about half life on the tires. These are Kumho Extas PS 91s, stock size tires, except for the 19-inch. So you're looking at 255/45 19s up front, and stock rear size 285. I believe they're 40s, 285/40s, 19s in the back. Okay, now we'll check out the interior. Here you can see the driver's side door. It's in excellent condition, hardly any wear. You can look at the trim pieces. You'd think a 12-year-old car would have a lot of markings on it and where you touch it, and really everything looks nearly new. You can tell it has some wear on it, but it's really mild, especially for the mileage of the vehicle. It's got the gray seats. And the seats are different, passenger to driver's side. That is normal for a GTR. The driver's side seat is a little different. These are the heated leather seats, and they're full power. So you got your heat adjuster right there, and they slide back and forth. It is a 4-seater, believe it or not, but you got to be really small to get in the back. The front seats actually just go all the way up against the back seats, similar to like what I'm told a 350Z does. There's the back, all Bose. This is a premium, so it's got the Bose stereo system with the subwoofer and everything in the back. It was the premier model for the GTR in 2009 when it came to the States first year. I've done a little bit of trim restoration when I got it because of just scratches and marks. So here you can see the instrument panel. And I'll go and start it up here in a second. I'll just give you a once over of everything. Everything's in the spot. There's nothing broken, nothing scratched up. Everything's in really good condition. And here's the other spot I asked Andy to sign the car, so it's right there on the dash pad. You see the carpet and the floor mats. Floor mats are worn. The red is off the R on the GTR symbol, but I mean, other than that, everything's in really good shape. All right, so sitting back down in the car now, just a couple things we'll go over, and I'll start it up and show you everything that comes up on the car and some of the other features. The original owner had the transmission replaced at 68,000 miles. The car's got 78,000 on it now, so the transmission's got about 10,000 miles on it. That was back in mid-2017, so it's got the newest generation transmission for the GTR. Same thing as a 2017 plus car. So it's got the upgraded clutch basket seals, metallurgy in the first gear, C-clips, the TSP clips for the valve body, everything that people have problems with these over the years for various models and GTRs. This one's got the newest transmission in it. So even though it's got 78,000 miles in the car, it's got nearly new transmission that was factory installed or dealer installed. So that's got a leg up on a lot of the other competition. Runs great. It's got what's called the LC5 tune on the transmission. So that's the launch control. I've launched the car personally 3 times. Once to try it out, second time to really experience what it was, because it's pretty amazing, and then once to show a friend. Other than that, I haven't launched the car since. I basically drove it back and forth to work a few times, and it sits in the garage, and I pull it out to wash it, that kind of thing. So that's why I'm selling it. You know, the car's great, but in my lifestyle, I just, with a family of 5, I can't put everyone in here, and you know, I don't want to drive the car every day back and forth to work, just because I think, you know, it really beat it up, and I'd like to have someone who would take, you know, be able to take care of it rather than me just have it sit here. So let me show you what it's like to start this thing up. All right, so the GTR uses proximity keys like a lot of newer cars these days. Although this is 2009 technology, but yep, you just got a start button right there. So you put your foot on the brake pedal, get a little indicator. Come on down here. You just push that, and it goes through its startup. And in the center section, it does a check. I'll just show you that. Checks the oil level. I believe it checks the transmission, and that came up first, and then it reverts to this screen. So you can see we're at 78,341. That mileage B 691.8. That's since I did the oil change. So I did an oil change on the car. That's the only thing I've done since I've had to do since I've got it. Speedometer goes to 220. It's hard to see from here, but there's actually tach lights in the tach for shift points that you can adjust on the computer. Shift indicator, as well as temperature and fuel. But then a lot of your screens are over here, and this is what the GTR is famous for. So you got kind of a control knob right here, and it scrolls through various screens. That's a screen a lot of people see. That's your boost screen, and you can change different, pick different things to go on various side of the screen that you'd like. You know, if I'd like to see something different, see fuel flow with boost, that's a good combination there. Total speed. I like to sit on screen 2. This is a custom screen. I've got coolant temp, oil temp, engine oil temp. You want to get all these over 150 before you do anything crazy with this car. That's how people break parts. Get everything up to 150, that's what the owner's manual says, and then you're good to go. And I also like to keep oil pressure for my engine, my transmission, and then my total mileage. I just keep that up there too. We've got another custom screen that you can set up, fuel flow, acceleration. This one is good for launch control. You got to get 100% brake pedal to launch the car, and 100% on the gas pedal to launch it. Of course, I've got my temperatures here as well. I want to see all those up to 150, and that'll show me my G on the launch. And in order to do that, basically you need to come here for the LC5 and put everything. You can put everything up to R, I believe, for LC5 tune. A lot of 2009s you'd have to turn this off, turn traction control off. But with the LC5 tune, I just believe you can put everything to R, or you can take traction control, turn it off. But that is that. Then you got your A, B, and C screens, which are ones you cannot change. Screens 1, 2, 3, and 4 you can change. Screens A, B, C, D, E, F, and G you cannot change. So you got acceleration, boost, and accelerator pedal, braking G, speed, and your brake pedal feel. You've got cornering G, your steering position. So when I turn the steering wheel, you can see that pointer changes direction. And we've got speed there. You got gear position, telling you what gear you're in, what speed, and it'll give you red marks for if you're going to over rev the engine. Also have fuel efficiency, mile per gallon, and a couple of different formats there. You've got one you can hit stopwatches and checkpoints, and then other waypoints also that you can set up. Now it also has, you know, navigation, which you'd have to get a new CD for this, because I don't have a current CD. But it's got nav and satellite, and you can set that stuff up, map your phone to it. It doesn't have CarPlay. It was before that. It doesn't have a backup camera. It also, and I don't know if this will show tire pressure since we haven't been driving, it may not. So it'll show tire pressure, but you got to drive for a little bit for the sensors to kind of wake up as they're moving, and it communicates back to the car. So there's no problems with that. It's showing about 30-35 psi, but don't be alarmed. You see all those asterisks right there. It does work. It just isn't, I haven't driven it. You can also all your radio work is done through here as well. So if I come, turn this down a little bit. We've got a music box. There's an onboard hard drive where you can load CDs into. You actually have a CD player down here at the bottom, or a compact flash drive, which is pretty unusual. You can put CDs in there and record them to the car. You can also run things off the compact flash. No CD in the system right now. I've got ones on the compact flash here that I could, just come here and pick a different artist and do all that kind of stuff with the touchscreen. That's the way that's all set up. And then you've got all your HVAC, set your temperatures, all that kind of stuff right here for AC and heat, etc. And then I've got my R modes to select right here. So I usually like to drive around with it on comfort for the suspension. That's better for drag racing and just driving around town. You can put it up in, again, you don't put anything in R until you're at least 150 degree across every temperature you need. Engine, coolant, trans temperature, and oil temperature, all 150 or better before you go R's on this and try any launching or anything like that. So at any rate, that's all there. And of course you got your shifter here, and this is the automatic shift. So you basically push on this button, pull it back, and that's in reverse. And if I go ahead and pull it back one more, that's in neutral. And if I pull it back one more, that's in drive. Now this is what's known as an automated manual transmission, and you can shift it with these paddle shifters. It starts off in automatic mode, or A, but I can just come here and flip the paddle and it goes to manual. Or I can side stick the thing like this, and that'll toggle it back and forth to automatic or manual. And you can feel the electronically controlled clutch when you go up in this, and when you let off the gas or let off the brake and you feel the clutch engage, it does feel like a stick. It's just you don't have a clutch pedal to play with. Got a couple of cup holders down through here, standard emergency brake. And then in our glove box, there's the access port, old school access port. Gotten asked this, and in case people are curious, I mentioned that transmission's been changed. There is the invoice from Hall Nissan up in Norfolk, where it was done. So you can see back in May of 2017, had a code with the transmission, and they replaced the transmission assembly. That was over a $13,000 swap, not including labor. So some other neat things that come with this car is the original window sticker. This is pretty unusual. It's more of a collector type thing. So this is the actual original window sticker for this car, and matches up to that VIN code right there. Unique and only one of its kind. So that goes along with it. For the enthusiast, it gives you kind of a unique aspect to this car, some of its lineage. So I hope you liked the video on the GTR. I haven't been posting videos a lot recently. Ended up with an unexpected job relocation, and the whole pandemic thing happened, and I had to get my family moved. And we're all transitioned down here to Florida, and honestly, I love the GTR. It's a great car. No problems with it. It's awesome. I imagine it's going to last forever if you take good care of it, but I just don't have a need for it, and just would rather pay down a mortgage and get my wife a new minivan. So at any rate, that's the GTR. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for joining me in the channel. And if you're interested in the car, shoot me a message. Got it advertised in Auto Trader and Car Gurus and a couple other things. So just let me know what you think, and we'll talk about it.